Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. Today I'm on River Street in Nanning City, and behind me is a set of old buildings, and we'll get into that in a minute. I'd like to thank all of the people that are donating to the Children's Fund. We're now at about $350 per month, which is good. Goes a long way, guys. Thank you very much. I think we can do better though. I set it at $2,000. What we're actually looking for. So if you see a Make Me Proud card come up, or in the description there's a link to the Patreon account, or the top right corner of the channel is another link to the Patreon account. Help out a little bit, guys. Anyway, that's not what this video is about, eh? We're going to be going down into this little community here. It's one of the communities, one of the original communities of Nanning City, and it's pretty neat, let me tell you. But there's a good story, and then there's a sad story that goes along with this one. As you can tell, the roofs are in a little bit of disrepair on some of the buildings. You can see on this one here they've put asbestos siding on the roof. So after a number of years, the place has sort of gone downhill. Is this good or bad? Well, you're gonna get to make your decision on that. But along with this little community here comes some farmland. So these people get to do their, all of their farming and their vegetable growing and such. They got a smudge out there today to get rid of the mosquitoes. But this is all right in the middle of Nanning City, like a city of 7 million people, and you've still got really old buildings, and you've got little farmland. What little farmland is left of their original farmland. This used to be a farming community back in the day, and we'll tell you how old this place is when we get down there. But I'm going to give you a bird's eye view of the farming area here. Check this out. Yeah, nice garden, eh? Every once in a while, I'll find some place that's sort of historically important, I guess, in the Chinese world. And Wei Fang and I were driving around on our e-bike this morning, and we came across this place, and I had no idea it even existed. So being the YouTuber kind of guy I am, I had to go and get my camera and come back. It's quite a jaunt over here, but you can see the building behind me, even to the point of up in the window there. That's original wood, original bars, wood bars on the windows. Cool, eh? Yeah. So and this place has been designated by Guangxi, the province of Guangxi, to be a historical site. It was built in 1671. Think about that. 1671 is when this place was built. How do I know? Because it says so on the plaque on the wall. The original 33 buildings were built in 1671. It was built by the Huang family. That's right there. Anyway, the thing is that all of the woodwork, there's been some repairs on the place. You can see up there there's metal bars in the window and stuff, but that woodwork up there, that's all original. 1671. That's 348 years ago, guys. That's like amazing. One of the downfalls of living in one of these places is open sewer. Yes. So although I'm sure they're not crapping in there. Well, maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe I should go ask. No, but it's one of those things that let's go up in here. People actually live here. Yes, and I would imagine it's the Huang family that lives here. But up in this area here, let's get up here first. Up in this area here is where some people live. But at the end of the hall is where they do the worshipping for, it's locked up, we can't go in, but where they do the worshipping for when somebody passes away, we call it Guangxi, where they pray to the gods and do the incense burning and the stuff that they do in China when somebody passes away. But just think, this place, look at, I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to put this up on the roof so you can see. Quite spectacular, actually. You know, the roof has lasted for 348 years. Well, some of the roof is down on the buildings, but still, okay. Well, and I'm telling you the significance of the building, but the people that live in these buildings, they're dirt poor, like dirt poor farmers. Yes. And why don't they just sell their land? Well, they can't, because this is being designated as a historical site by the Chinese government. Okay, well, what does that mean for the people? Well, that means for the people that they're going to stay poor because they can't sell the land and put a high-rise on it because you can't tear the buildings down. What does that do? Oh, well, it keeps them poor for, well, until the place falls down on its own, I guess. Or if they come in and restore it, it's there forever type thing. It's one of those conundrums, I guess. You can't move because you're too poor to go anywhere. You can't sell your property so that people can put a high-rise on it because it's right across from the river, right across the street. This is prime real estate, guys, like really nice real estate. Some of the best in all of the city of Nanning. But you can't sell it because, exactly, a historical site. You can't tear things down that are designated historic. So they're left to live in a historical site, I guess. Is it nice to live in a historical site? Well, I don't think they look at it that way. You and me might, and say, well, look at this, isn't this nice? And you'd fix it up inside and you'd make it that special place. They don't look at it here. They just live poor from day to day. They do their little farming of their veggies and try to eke out an existence. Because you see how, I'm going to turn the camera around here. See how they live in just right across the little walkway from one to the other type thing, eh? It's a tough way to make a living, or it's a tough way to live. Open sewers. If they didn't have it back in 1671, they don't have it now, except for maybe satellite dish up in the corner. They've got power here, but they've got open sewers here too. They've got I would imagine with the types of windows that they have in here, they would have centipedes and mosquitoes and black flies and little no-see-ums that just bite the living bejesus out of you at night. Yeah, they'd have rats. They'd probably have snakes too, because where there's rats in China, there's snakes too. Yeah, cobras, king cobras. Gotta love those. Or the little two steps. Yeah, you make it 2 steps and you drop because they are potent. But this is how these people are left to live. And I was watching a little old lady. She was out here watering her papaya plant there this afternoon, and you could tell she was about as poor as anybody can get in the city of Nanning. So, is it good to live in a historical site in Nanning City? Well, no. These people would probably rather have the place demolished, have it sold to a large company, and get a couple of apartments, rent one out, live in the other one, and make a living where they don't have to work in the garden. But being a Canadian, That's what I like. I want a garden. I want to grow my own vegetables. I don't want the store stuff that's got the pesticides and the herbicides and, how does Valdi say it, all them sides all over. Yeah, exactly. Valdi. Now I'm dating myself. Yeah. Put a comment in the comment section if you know who Valdi is. Some of you old boys will. But the historical society deemed this place to be a historical site, and I can see why, because it's 348 years old. My God, Martha, that's pretty old for buildings here in China. And all of those people are saying, oh, if it's there for 30 years they tear it down, or 40 years they tear it down. Well, not this one, guys. Not this one. The olden days of growing your own vegetables and your corn and your onions, your lettuce, your beans, your peas, your squashes, pumpkins. Oh yeah, they've got a whole bunch of different things here. It's sort of nice to see in the city where everything's concrete and pavement. It's nice to see something like this in the middle of the city for a change. You know, you sort of miss it after a while when you're in China, that you really don't see the gardens, because everybody's in an apartment. Everybody's you know, taking the elevator up to go home and shit like that. But in a place like this, it's sort of nice. Cool, eh? And all around here, because the 33 buildings aren't just in this one little area. They're spattered all through these complexes. So what they did is, if there's room between the buildings and they don't want the farmland, they've built apartment complexes around these old buildings, which is sort of neat to industrious Chinese industrialism at its best type thing. But yeah, because I noticed, I walked back through here this afternoon, and there was a whole bunch of older buildings sort of speckled through the complex here. And on the other side, if you look over my left shoulder, as always, in some places they just throw garbage in China. That's one of the things that I don't like. That you know, there's a hill over there, and I would imagine somebody in that building behind just throws their garbage off their balcony and over onto the hill. So it messes the place up a little bit, and you know, who's going to clean it up? And you notice it's only the ladies that are working in the gardens here. Yeah, see, I'd have some chickens running around out here too, and maybe a little pig over in the corner, and oh yeah, barbecued baby pig. I love that. We get that here all the time. The skin is crispy. Oh, I'm getting hungry now. I'm gonna go home and eat. There's another video from Gweilo 60, a little bit of history from Nanning City. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button, and don't forget to hit the bell. Yes, I'm still getting subscribers complaining that they're being unsubscribed and not Chinese living in China using VPNs, but people that are in the United States that have hooked up in the United States, they don't use VPNs, and they've been unsubscribed too. So hit that subscribe button again, and don't forget to give a couple of bucks to the children. Thanks for watching. Bye now. And behind me, there's some more of these older buildings. Don't let that one over there fool you. It's a newer building, but it's done in the old way. But think of the significance of this, guys. Okay, back in the day, back in 1671, when they built these old buildings, and people were actually living here. I'll turn around now. On the other side, I know the sun's in your eyes and stuff, but on the other side of the road is the river. So these people were living basically on the banks of the Yong Jinag River here in southern China. So I would imagine fertile land, good farming, you know, your veggies, you'd never ever want for any vegetables or fruits or anything like that. And the Yong Jinag River back in the day, before it was polluted, and it is getting better, but back in the day, you'd have all the fish you wanted to eat. and the rice. So fish, rice, vegetables. Yeah, I would imagine these people probably lived a long life in comparison to other people around the world at the same time. 1671, guys. That's a long time ago.